What is going on, you guys? It's Nick here, back on the PH channel, and today I've got a combo video for you. Last time we did Malice, this time we're doing Ryzeal. Ryzeal's a bit more splashable, so we're doing some of the engines as well. I'll be showing you those combos, and I'll be showing you the deck list as well, so it's going to be 4 deck lists in this video. So a real good introduction into the new format post crossover breakers. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy these types of videos. If you are enjoying these type of videos, then let us know in the comments and hit the like button, just so we can continue to keep making these videos for you. So let's just get straight into the combos. So let's start off with the basics. We'll get all the monsters out of the way, and then we'll move on to the more complicated combos. So first off, the first starter, probably the best starter in the deck, at least going first, is Ice Ryzeal. So we're going to start off with normal summon Ice Ryzeal. We're going to special summon the Thode. It's called Sword in the TCG. But we're going to add the Ext Ryzeal. We're going to special out the Ext Ryzeal by sending the Duo Drive. This could also be a Detonator as well, or a Detonator, I think it's called in the TCG. And then on summon, this is going to search out the Node Ryzeal. We're going to overlay these two. It could be any of the 2 bodies on board, it doesn't really matter. You make Duo Drive. Duo Drive is going to attach the Duo Drive that you put in the grave with the Ext Ryzeal, and then you're going to activate the Duo Drive effect to search 2 cards by detaching 2 materials. This is going to add the plugin and the cross. The field spell is really strong in this deck. So you're going to activate the field spell, now you're protected from Nib, and then you're going to summon out Node because you have an XYZ on field or in grave. You're going to overlay the 2 bodies you have on board into Dagaris, draw 2, discard 1, and then your plugin is going to be your extender. So you're going to plug in, summon out the Node, and then attach from deck. Usually going to attach the trap. Some people are not playing the trap, but I think it's pretty good. If you're playing the pure version, I think you definitely play the trap. So you attach the trap to Duo Drive, so then this is live for next turn as well. And then you use Node effect, you send the Dagaris, you reborn one of your bodies, and then look, you have 2 level 4s again, and we can make a Detonator. I'm pretty sure it's called Detonator with the TCG. So yeah, and then Detonator is going to attach a material from the grave, usually attached like Dagaris or something that you're not going to want to put back with cross. Obviously, if you send Aggregator with the X, then you're going to be attaching that because it's an extra negate. But yeah, and you're going to do this and draw cards. So we've actually drawn 3 cards in this combo. We've had to discard 1 obviously, but then we've only used 1 card from our hand. So we've actually got a 6 card hand at this point, which is really, really strong. And you can kind of see where this deck goes. It's like you make this board consistently and you have loads of hand traps to back it up. That's kind of what it is. Now for the next starter, this is Ext Ryzeal. This one's probably a bit better going second because you can summon this one out by sending an XYZ from your extra deck to grave. So you can send the Aggregator into a board and just negate a card for free. So it's probably a bit better going second, but going first I think Ice is better. But yeah, we'll just show what you can do going first with this card anyway. So you summon out X by sending either a Duo Drive or a Detonator. It's not going to matter. You just need a Ryzeal name specifically engraved to attach with Duo Drive. And then on summon it's going to add the Thode or the Sword. Then you can special out the Sword because you have a Ryzeal on field or grave. And then this is going to add your Ice Ryzeal. And it's kind of like before, only this time we're going to make the Duo Drive before we normal summon the Ice because we don't want to play into Nib. So yeah. And then on summon Duo Drive is going to attach the Duo Drive from grave, and then we're going to activate the effect, attach 2 materials. We're going to search out the cross and the plugin. Just like before, now we activate the cross, we're protected from Nib now. So now we can normal summon the Ice. Ice effect is going to special summon the Node, and like before, we're going to make a Dagaris. And then Dagaris is going to draw 2. Then we're going to discard 1. Conveniently, it's the same cards as before. And then we're going to activate plugin, summon out the Node, attach from deck again. Going to attach to the Duo Drive just so it's live next turn. And then we're going to use the Node effect, send the Dagaris, summon back a name, and make a Detonator. And then Detonator is going to attach like before, and then we're going to draw off the cross as well. So exactly the same board as before, only this time we started with X. So it doesn't make that much of a difference. Where you're going to notice it is that like Ice is a good starter because if you normal summon it and they interact with it, then you can have any of the names as the extenders to play through it. Whereas X is one of your extenders, so if you start with it, then you have 1 less extender technically. So yeah, but yeah, that's what you can do with X. Now on to the last main deck monster. So this is Thode, or Sword in TCG. This is probably your worst starter, just because this is the one that you want to have to play through hand traps. If your opponent normal summons a sword, they've probably bricked because they probably don't have another Ryzeal card in field in hand, because then they would have summoned that and then used the sword as the extender. So it's usually, if they normal summon this, you can hand trap this. Otherwise, I'd avoid hand trapping the little mons, just because there's so many extenders in the deck. You probably just want to save your hand traps for the duo drive. But I'm going to show you what sword does on its own anyway if your opponent doesn't interact with you. So we're going to normal summon out sword. Sword's going to get the effect to get X. We're going to summon out X by sending the duo drive. Then it's going to add the node. Then this time we're going to make a dead nada. Duo drive, sorry, and then duo drive is going to attach the duo drive, activate the effect, search. So we're still not going to lose to nib in this combo, but obviously if they hand trapped the sword, we wouldn't have had an extender unless we opened 2 sword. So yeah, so we'll activate the cross, we'll summon out the node, we'll use the node effect, send a random card in your hand to summon back the Ext Ryzeal, and then we're just going to go straight into a dead nada. Attach the duo drive that we detached earlier, and then set the plugin. With a hand like this, you don't want to make the Dugaris, because you can make the dead nada afterwards, unless you had another extender in hand, so like another sword. But if you had a different starter, then you would have done the other starter play. So it's probably safer to just do this play, because now if they have like Book of Eclipse or any board breakers like that, you can chain the dead nada, pop itself, and then plug in, summon it back, and attach again. So yeah, it's probably better to just do like a simplified board if you've had like a weird hand like this, because you probably got 4 hand traps as well. So yeah. Right, let's have a look at a 2-card combo. So for this combo, we're going to use Ice and X. So we're going to start off with normal summon Ice. We're going to summon out Sword. Sword is going to grab us another Ice, as these are both extenders now. We're going to use the X and send the duo drive to grave, and then we're going to use the X effect to search out node. Then going to overlay it into a duo drive, use the duo drive effect on summon to attach from the grave, and then use the duo drive effect to search for 2 cards. This time we're going to go for cross and hole. We don't need the plugin because we had the extra extender. So we're just going to activate the cross. Now we're insulated from nib. We can special summon out the Ice by sending a card from our hand to the grave. Just a random card, and then we make Dugaris, draw 2, discard 1, and then we're going to summon out the node, use the node effect, send the Dugaris, summon it back to level 4, and then we're going to make the dead nada. This is going to attach from the grave as well, and then we can set the hole thruster. Then we can use the cross to get a draw, so we've drawn 3 in this combo, so hopefully we can draw into some hand traps and some non-engine. So yeah, that's the 2-card combo. Right, now let's have a look at some of the variants of Ryzeal. So first up, we got the Voiceless variant. I think this was played a bit in the OCG. I'm not sure if many people have been tested in the TCG. I've seen a few people play it on DB, but I haven't seen a lot of it. So yeah, I'll just show you a quick little combo with Low and Ext Ryzeal. So we're going to start off with special summon the Ext Ryzeal. We're going to dump the duo drive, very similar to how we're starting the other combos. We're going to get a Thode. Thode is going to summon, and it's going to search out a Ice. We're then going to make a duo drive, activate the duo drive to attach, and then activate the duo drive to detach 2 and search out cross and node. Some people in the Voiceless voice deck, in the OCG I think, were not playing cross and duo drive. They were just playing like a very small engine and just making like a detonator and passing basically, essentially, with like the Voiceless voice stuff. I think it's okay to play a bigger Ryzeal package. I think the Ryzeal cards are really strong. So if you are going to play like a Voiceless voice, I think play in a few one of extra cards, because I don't think they played Ice either. Just to make your deck a bit more scary. I think it's fine. You definitely don't have to play them, but I think it's probably good. So yeah, we're going to activate the cross here, so we're insulated from nib, not that we played into nib here anyway. We're then going to normal summon Low. Low's going to get Barrier. Barrier is going to search Saphira. Then we're going to use Saphira. We're going to dump the Ritual, and then we're going to search for the Skull Guardian. And then going to activate the Saphira in grave. Going to Ritual summon by tributing the Low. and then we're going to go Skull Guardian and low. This is going to search out Saravas and special summon out the low. We don't mind about the Anima Zone because Barrier is protecting us anyway. So yeah, we'd rather have the Ryzeal stuff protected from Anima, potentially, I don't know. Then we're going to activate the node, send the ice, and then we're going to summon back the X and then make a detonator. And then detonator is going to attach from grave, and then cross is going to shuffle back the last 2 guys on grave and draw a card. So we're ending on a Omni Negate as well as our previous board, so it's pretty good. For the next variant, we'll have a look at a Melodious variant. So this one is Ostinato on its own. It's the full Ryzeal combo. This combo does play into Nib because we have to do a few steps before we start the Ryzeal stuff. But yeah, it's still extra starters. If you're struggling with consistency, this could be a really good way to play it. So we're going to start off with activating Ostinato. We're going to send 2 refrains, and we're going to summon a backer from the extra deck. Backer's going to summon our 3rd refrain and add a cannon. We're going to link the 2 off into a lizard, and then backer's going to trigger and summon another refrain from the grave, and then we're going to activate the lizard and draw 1. This is just to remove the body that's not a level 4 or rank 4. We're then going to summon cannon because we control a Melodious, and make a Banshee, and then Banshee is just essentially another copy of Bonfire. So we just attach 1 and we add Ice Ryzeal to hand. And then, just like before in the first combo, we have a normal summon, so our full combo is just normal summon Ice Ryzeal. So Ice Ryzeal is going to summon Sword. Sword's going to get us an X. We're going to summon out the X by sending a Duo Drive, and then X is going to grab us Node. We're then going to make a Duo Drive. On summon, attach from the grave, and then activate the effect to search out 2 cards. We're going to search Cross, and we're going to search Plugin. So exactly the same combo as the beginning. Then we're going to summon out the node, activate the Cross obviously. This is just to protect us from nib, but they would have nibbed us at this point already. We're going to make a Dugaris, just like before. Draw 2, discard 1. Then activate the plugin, summon out the node, attach from deck. So we've got follow up in Duo Drive and we've got follow up in Banshee. We're then going to use the node effect, send a card, summon back a level 4, and then we're going to make a detonator, and then detonator effect to attach, and then we're going to activate Cross to draw a card. So we're actually drawing 4 in this combo because we're drawing an extra 1 off Lizard. So we draw more cards, but we also play into more cards. So it is what it is. And now for my favourite variant, this is the Fiendsmith variant, and you can do it all off Ice Ryzeal. So, you know, the best starter. So here we're going to normal summon Ice Ryzeal just like before, but this time we're going to summon out the Ext Ryzeal. This is going to add us Thode. There is a reason that we're doing this, because we want to get the search before we put the Fiendsmith stuff on board. So then we're going to make Moon. Moon's going to make a Requiem. Requiem is going to summon out the Lacrima, and Lacrima is going to send Engraver. Now, we don't have to make a Desiree here. Usually I don't, just because you want to make a Necro Equip to just win the hand drop wars, and you can make a Desiree like next turn. It's not an issue. Usually it's just better to set up the trap, because then you have just extra sends or interruptions in your opponent's turn. So yeah, we're just going to summon out the Engraver by putting back the Moon, and then we're going to equip the Requiem, and then make a Necro Equip. So we've got a level 4 and we've got Necro Equip. So now if they start like Ashen or Veiler in our duo drive, then at least we get to draw cards as well. And again, this is all off 1 card. We're then going to summon out Thode, add a Ext Ryzeal, because we haven't used the extender effect of Ext Ryzeal yet. We're going to overlay the 2 level 4s into a Duo Drive, and then Duo Drive's going to attach from grave. Then we're going to use the Duo Drive to search 2 cards. We're going to search out Node, and we're going to search out Cross. So now we've already played into Nib here, so if they did have Nib, they would have used it by now. But at this point now, we can't be nibbed because we're going to activate Cross here. We're going to special summon out the X and send the Aggregator. This time we get to get the Aggregator turn 1. Usually you want to get the extra material on Duo Drive just because it plays around Nib a bit better. But here we were able to put a Ryzeal engrave before making the Duo Drive anyway, so we didn't need to send a XYZ with the Ryzeal. We could just send an Aggregator. So this does actually as an interrupt as well. And then we can summon out the node and make a detonator. And then detonator can add the aggregator to its materials, and then we get the extra interrupt from that. We can then draw a card of cross as well. And yeah, this is the board. So if we have hand traps as well, we can also draw a card in our opponent's turn if we hand trap him, because Necroquip will give us a draw. And then if they hand trapped us, we would also draw cards. We also have the Lacrima, so it's going to shuffle back, summon out the Requiem. Requiem's going to tribute, summon out the Lacrima, and Lacrima's going to send the Fiendsmith trap. And then the Fiendsmith trap, if your opponent special summons, you get to banish it and then send a Fiendsmith card from your extra deck to the grave. So you send Desiree, and then Desiree shuffle back a Light Fiend, target a card in the field, and send it to the grave. So extra interrupts.
Now a shout out to our sponsors, the first one being Graad, the best grading company in Europe, based in pianetahobby in Milan. The second one is CARDTRADER, the online marketplace platform where you'll find the cards you need at market price, in one shipment only. Create your account using the link right here. The third one, Game to Collect, is one of the top Italian sellers on the market, specializing in high rarity American cards, code format, and misprints. They also collect your cards up to 85% of their value. Next one is Magician Circle, a local store in Trieste specialized in sealed and custom products. They also host events for all TCGs. Then shout out to Game Lover, your favorite place based in Crema, where you can eat, play card games, table games, and also video games. Next we got Aliandi, your go-to place in San Giovanni Lupatoto, where you can find mangas, comics, board games, singles, and tournaments for all TCGs. Then a shout out to Planet Fun, the best place to go in Rovato for weekly tournaments for all TCGs. Last local store we have is Gamerland, based in Abbiate Grasso, Lombardy's best shop to buy singles, sealed, and play weekly tournaments. Then we have CHAPA'S Playmats. They produce amazing custom playmat that may have your own image on them. Last but not least, we have Dragon Inc. They produce our official PA jerseys and cloth mats. All their links are in the description down below, so don't forget to check them out.
Right, let's get into the deck profiles. So first up we have the standard Ryzeal deck. This build is fairly standard. There's nothing too crazy, other than like we're swapping around the mulches. You can play it either way. I think this one's a bit better into this deck specifically, and a few other decks that I was seeing a bit more, so I wanted to main deck this one and slide the other one. You can play it either or. I don't think it makes that much of a difference, but I think this one is maybe slightly better, just on the hand trap ratios as well. I don't know, it's up to you. The one of talent is mainly for the thrust. There wasn't room in the side, so I wanted to just put it in just so I had the option to search it go in second as well. So that's why there's a random one of talent in here. And then the Metaltronus is really strong in the mirror, so I would recommend trying this out if you haven't already. And then obviously the Sanctum into the Landseal play to play against Malice. Everything else fairly standard. Nothing too crazy in this build anyway. Right, so for the first variant, this is the Voiceless Voice deck. I'll be honest, I haven't tested this deck. I don't know how good it is. On paper, it doesn't seem as good as the pure Ryzeal deck, but I have seen people have success with the deck. I put together something that I thought would be pretty good. I know the OCG played the Diviners and like that engine. I didn't have room for it in this build. I kind of just threw together what I knew I needed from the Voiceless Voice cards, and then like the minimum Ryzeal package. I'm pretty sure the OCG are like not playing Cross, not playing Ice, not playing Duo, stuff like that. I think these cards are still really good. If you can make room for them, it's only like 2 slots in the main and 2 slots in the extra. I think you definitely play them. But you can definitely mess around with this and change up your ratios. Maybe play less hand traps because you're playing so much engine. But yeah, I thought I'd give you a good idea of how you can maybe play the deck. I haven't got a lot of experience, so I don't know. But this seems like it could be pretty good. Now for the next variant, this is the Melodious variant. I was okay with going over 40 cards because we're adding a few more starters into the deck. So I felt a bit more comfortable with being at like 44. Because like Refrain is a starter on its own because it just makes Banshee, which gets X, so you know you can play from there. And obviously Ostinato, like I showed in the combo, that's also a starter which doesn't use your normal summon. This does. But yeah, we're trying to play as much non-engine as we possibly can while still playing these engines as well. And like before, we're still playing the Metaltronus, the side's pretty much the same. And like, you could swap the mulch armies if you want to swap the mulch armies. The extra deck, you lose a bit of utility because you have to play the Backer and the Banshee. I've seen a few people play like 2 Backers and stuff. Honestly, I don't want to play that much of the extra deck. I kind of want to use this turn 1 and then I never want to use it again. So I don't really see a point in playing like more fusions. I think you just use it as an engine to start your plays, and then you're gonna pitch it off like Dugaris and stuff like that. I don't think you're ever gonna use it again other than the first time you use it. So yeah, that's the deck. And now on to the final variant and my favorite variant. This is the Fiendsmith deck. I think this is probably my favorite out of all the variants. Just the way it plays, and I think I just really enjoy using the Fiendsmith cards as well. Again, we're trying to use as much non-engine as we can. We still got the single talents in there, but this time we're not playing any of the pots for consistency. So there's a bit of an issue there, but like Engraver on its own plays around a hand trap. So if we like normal summon Ice, they like imperm it or ash it or impulse it or do something to it, then you can pitch Engraver, search tract for add Engraver, pitch Engraver, summon out the Engraver by shuffling back the other one, make a Requiem, and then summon the Lacrima, and then Lacrima can dump another Engraver or dump a Fiendsmith in Paradise. That puts 4 on board, so you have Ice and then another 4, so you can just make Dual Drive there, which gets your play started. So you have like a bit of extension. You can also do the same with like Perulia. You can like do what I just said then, and then normal summon Perulia, and then you got 2 4s. So you know, there's a bit more consistency than I think people give it credit for. I think people just think, oh, the Engraver package is a brick, you're just going to make a Desiree and pass, but in actual fact that's not what you do. Chaos Angel is definitely cuttable. I would like to play a Typhon, so I'm in an hour in of whether to play Chaos Angel or Typhon. I think Typhon's really strong, so yeah, there's that. And we're not playing the Lancia line here just because I needed space in the side. I wanted to play an additional hand trap for if we needed to side out the Fiendsmith package. So yeah, that's it for the decks. Right, that's it for the video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you guys learned something, and I'll catch you in the next video.